Good afternoon, and welcome to Camp Randall Stadium and the 165th Spring Commencement of the University of Wisconsin at Madison. Thank you to Katie Anderson for that beautiful performance, and thanks to Professor Lacrone and the UW Band for leading us in. Today, more than 7,000 bachelor's, master's, and law degree candidates will become alumni of one of the greatest universities in the world, making the class of 218 one of the largest in our history. And by the way, 6,520 of you, give or take a few, are right here in the stadium. As you can see, the head of the National Weather Service is a 3-time UW alum, so when we told him we didn't want rain, he delivered. Friends and family have the best seats in the house. That's where fans have been cheering on the Badgers for 101 years. And just for the record, that very first game in Camp Randall 101 years ago was a shutout when we trounced Minnesota. To all of you who have supported our graduates on this amazing journey, let me ask all of our graduates here to join me in applauding the friends, families, and supporters out there in the stands. Class of 2018, it's been an experience. This class has set new records for community service and helped to make UW-Madison the #1 public university in the nation for students studying abroad. You've also helped us consume 400,000 gallons of Babcock ice cream, battled for Bascom in an epic snowball fight, and inspired an explosion of UW memes powered by one of today's graduates. Shane Linden, wherever you are out there, I trust that milk-chugging teens is going to continue to drive the meme economy. You have all worked harder than you ever thought you could. One member of the class of 2018 has even set what might be a new record for the number of majors. Daniel Quigley liked anthropology, astronomy, linguistics, mathematics, and physics so much he couldn't choose between them, so he's majored in all 5. And I might note, Daniel is also the first generation in his family to earn a college degree, so congratulations, Daniel. The last few years have been a particularly good time to be a Badger. Many of you remember our Final Four victory over Kentucky in your freshman year. That was pretty unforgettable. Not to mention the back-to-back trips to the Women's Frozen Four and the football bowl games. You have helped teach the nation the meaning of jump around. But I also want to recognize that for some here, this is also a very bittersweet moment. There are members of this class who passed away before graduation. They were friends, they were colleagues, and I want to pay tribute to their memory as well. One of today's graduates spoke last month to a group of high school students who was visiting campus. Ross Dahlke told them how odd it feels when people ask him what it's like to be entering the real world. He said, UW grads don't need to enter the real world because we never left it. You've been educated in the proud tradition of the Wisconsin idea, our commitment to public service, which is why each of you has spent the last 4 years learning to address real-world problems. Brianna Young came to UW as a posse student. Brianna came as a posse student to study nursing, but some of her most The nursing grads are always wild. Some of Brianna's most meaningful work has happened outside the classroom, working to change public perceptions about the nursing profession and mentoring students interested in healthcare. Last year, Brianna became the first undergraduate ever selected for our Outstanding Women of Color Award. Congratulations, Brianna. Kai Rasmussen had a life-changing experience when he started working in our astrobotany lab. He thought figuring out how to grow plants in outer space would be challenging, but it turned out to be an even bigger challenge in trying to explain to his family and his friends what exactly he was doing. So he launched a one-man campaign to explain astrobotany, designed t-shirts, started a YouTube talk show, even wrote a hip-hop song, and got it played at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So Kai, if astrobotany doesn't work out, I suggest a career in public relations. You'd be great. For Kai, for Brianna, for every one of you out there, the real world is right here. And my question to you is, how will you stay engaged with that world once you leave this place? It actually gets a little bit harder to make time for real world problems when you're focused on graduate school or building your career and your life. But the world needs you, so I want to offer you 3 pieces of advice. First, think small. You don't have to end world hunger or save the planet, at least not right away. Find something close by that you care about and that you can help with in some way. For Angeline Mabutkan, that's been supporting and advocating for non-traditional students. Angeline is an immigrant from a small village in Cameroon where girls had little chance for an education. She learned English not many years ago and earned her degree while raising 4 children. Congratulations, Angeline. Like Angeline, pick something to work on that you care about and are able to make time for in your life. It's always satisfying to work on something, even if it's something small that's a little bigger than yourself. Second, unplug once in a while. You will be amazed how much time you suddenly have when you aren't always on that phone. And I promise that the Reddit memes will still be there when you return. You need time to think when you're not always distracted by videos or text messages. This is precious time, and make sure you find it in your life. And third, whenever you have the chance, help somebody else learn something new. You will find that teachers learn as much from their students as students learn from their teachers. And you don't have to be an education major to be a teacher. You just have to care deeply about something. When Andrew Hansen, Justin Beck, and Forrest Woolworth sat where you were sitting just a few years ago, their first thought was, we care deeply about playing video games. And like many of you, they had a fair amount of experience. But they noticed there weren't enough games they could play on their phones, and the ones they tried weren't all that fun. With degrees in computer engineering and computer science, they decided they could do better. Today, we have a business here in Madison called Pur Blue that designs video games. They've made headlines all over the country. They've been honored at the White House for their work in support of entrepreneurs, and they're now collaborating with Disney on a new role-playing game. Andrew, Justin, and Forrest are successful business executives and entrepreneurs, but their favorite and perhaps their most important role is teacher. They advise young entrepreneurs, mentor UW students, and guest lecture on campus. They understand that a credential from a top university is more than a ticket to a great career or graduate school. It's a passport to a new world of opportunities to share what you have learned and moving from being a student to being a teacher. 53 years ago, one of the greatest teachers in our history, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., spoke just down the road at the Stock Pavilion. He thanked our students and faculty for their work to register voters and urged the audience to stay committed. As our nation marks the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's death, I want you to take a moment to contemplate what he called life's most persistent and urgent question. That is, what are you going to do for others? If you keep asking that question, you will keep finding ways to use your knowledge and your skills to make the real world just a little bit better. So we wish you all the best. As you move into the next phase of your life, keep in touch. Let us know how you're doing. And remember, come back and visit. You will always be a part of the University of Wisconsin, and I hope that the University of Wisconsin will always be a part of you. I can't wait to hear what all of you accomplish in the years ahead. Congratulations to the class of 2018. On Wisconsin! Now, if you have a phone with you, this time you can take it out. We're going to do one last unofficial portrait with you and your classmates and put together the best set of class photos you have ever seen. I want every one of you to take a selfie or a picture with the classmates around you and tweet it with the hashtag UW-Grad. Parents, grandparents, family, friends, that means all of you. We're going to collect them and post them. And while you're doing that, David and I are going to take our own photo from up here. All right. There you go. Great. The class of 2018 is going to have the best collection of commencement photos and memories we have ever created. So be sure to visit the web and see all of those pictures.